Okay. Okay. All right, great. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Ashland Board of Health meeting for November 21st, 2023. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:06 p.m. As always, first thing is citizens participation. Mark, you've been absent for a while. I was hoping you were okay, so I'm glad to see you. What's going on?
Evening, Mark Sony, 49 Hawthorne Road, gobble, gobble, gobble. Still taking care of my dad. He's still alive and kicking. 98 years old. 9 years now. Taking care of him. He's in bed. Loves his classical music. 98 heartbeat, heart oxygen. 116 over his 80 blood pressure. No wheezes in the breathing. Clear throat, clear heart with the stethoscope readings. And he's doing well. It's just shaking off little colds, little cough, and stuff like that. And basically, home is here. Me, my dad, and later on the Thanksgiving Day afternoon, my brother and his family brings over leftovers, and we have leftovers here. So
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen Thanksgiving.
Okay.
My question is, either to Raj or to you, whoever can answer this, is about the Comprehensive Plan Committee. My question is there any representative from the Board of Health on that?
That is correct. Mr. Berman is part of it, Mr. Ed Berman. So he's on the committee.
Okay. And just wanted to make sure, because I've seen it a couple times there, just wanted to make sure that they're having little tips and taps, little thing that handles with groups, and getting over little bumps in the road, but they're doing okay. To Miss French from the division at every turn. How does it feel to be a good coordinated all around, to be together with any age groups?
I mean, we're really fortunate to be able to, I think, first and foremost, work in the community of Ashland, of all ages for sure. So it's just a really privileged position, I think, that I have, and being welcoming by the town in the role that I have, to work with a lot of great people and to do great work regardless of the age. So yeah, I mean, thank you for the question, and I'm just really happy to be here.
But I know that there was another woman that was basically running this that you took the place from.
Sure. So, I mean, I could talk a little bit about that during my little segment here, but you might be referring to Jennifer Wolfing, the Director of Human Services. Is that correct?
That's correct. And part the being with the high school.
Right. So at the high school, we've had a little bit of a turnover with our coordinator position, but it's currently being served by Eliza Dodge Usen. She's our youth and community coordinator, doing the work directly with the primarily the middle school and high school.
Okay, that's enough for me being a interim chairman. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
All right, thanks, Mark. Thanks, Kristin. Okay, and with that, doesn't look like there's anybody else online. So, Kristin, you want to take it from here? Agenda item 3. Kristin's the Director of Prevention and Human Services. You're going to discuss the fall retreat. So, just because some people, may not know, in case people end up watching this, can you kind of give us a little bit of an overview of what DAET is, just so if people aren't informed, and then whatever you want to talk about for the retreat is great.
Sure. So thank you very much. And I wanted to thank Raj and Laura as well, who have been asking me to come on to a Board of Health meeting for a while. And I think at our first invitation, we had some conflicts and it was difficult for me to be here. And then we were in a little bit of a state of flux, and I didn't really have a really good update to give, but I feel that now we're in a good position and some really great stuff has been going on. So I think this timing feels perfect. So for anyone who is unfamiliar with Decisions at Every Turn, we have been a federally funded, community-based coalition that works to prevent youth substance use. And we've been in the community prior to, but really federally funded since 2013. So for 10 years, we've been working collaboratively with parents and youth and schools and town departments, the police, businesses, and so on and so forth, to really put together a comprehensive plan, like I said, to reduce and prevent youth substance use, but also really to promote positive behavioral health. Part of what I wanted to talk about tonight is sort of the shift, and we talked a little bit about this at our retreat just the other day. We've been fortunate to be able to host an annual retreat where we bring together such stakeholders and such groups to reconnect as a community, but then to also think about the work that we're going to do over the coming year. So we just met last Thursday, and one of the leading parts of the introduction was that our federal funding, we had 10 great years of drug-free community funding, which allowed us to do so many wonderful things, including reducing rates of some areas of substance use, which is really the goal of the grant. But that funding ended in September. And so we're sort of now at this transition part where we were really focused on how do we sustain prevention, how do we continue to do the work without this large grant that has been supporting us for so long. So I wanted to just, take a really quick step back just to say that there was a lot of foresight with one of the leaders several leaders of the coalition prior to me coming on that had approached the town when we were applying for the second round of funding. And we wanted to see if they would serve as our fiscal agent. And they agreed in 2018 when we applied for that grant. And in doing so, it was sort of cementing their investment in prevention by saying that we believe in the work that the community is doing to help support youth. So we'll serve as a fiscal agent. And part of that conversation was, once we know when the grant ends, what do we do? And so many coalitions, when the funding ends, there's no money to support programming and there's no money to support staff. So in a lot of communities, the work just falls apart. But one of the things that the town managers and through the select board and different groups agreed on was that it was really important to maintain a staff role that could oversee prevention once the funding ended. So over a course of 5 years, they increasingly put the role of the director into the budget. So now my position, the director position, is completely funded by the town. And there's some funding shifts with regard to with our programming that have changed a little bit. But I did want to first and foremost say that because the town believes so much in prevention, that was step one. The second part is through some of the conversations that we've had and really tying into the community's goal, one of their goals is to promote community health. Started thinking about how do we take what we do and know about prevention and kind of expand that. So really over the summer, if you might have read some of the articles and some of the announcements that have been made, the Human Services has now expanded into the Department of Prevention and Human Services. And that's allowed us to do, I think, a couple of things. We can now look at prevention across all ages. So now we can look from like birth through, 100, we can look at prevention across all of those ages now. And we can also expand our definition of prevention. So rather than the strict focus on youth substance use, we can now look at all aspects of health. So physical health, social health, substance abuse, prevention, mental health, that the social connectedness piece. So we're really looking at being able to expand what we do and apply those, prevention strategies. The third thing that we're able to do is to connect that work to what's already happening in the Human Services Department, which has done amazing work for the residents of the town for such a long time with case management and referrals and resources and the holiday program and the Thanksgiving meal program, and just being able to support residents with any need that they have. So that part is all very new. So I just wanted to say we sort of laid the foundation for this work, that now we can look at community health in a very different way. And hopefully by the bridging of prevention and human services, we'll be able to support residents even more. One of the ways that I'm hoping to be able to do this is to put it in the community's hands to tell the department what you want as residents. So we have put, I'm going to promote it a little bit more, but there is, we put together a simple 3-question survey that was in the town manager's newsletter and is on our webpage, and I will continue to promote it, that basically says, what is your, what age group do you want to have programming on? What topics do you want to have programming on? And how would you like this programming and services to be delivered? And I'm hoping to collect as much feedback as possible from the community so we can start to think how we build these broader services that in programs that we're hoping to do. So I guess maybe my final thing is, I know I didn't really talk too much about decisions at every turn, but now that decisions at every turn is no longer a federally funded coalition, it now sits very, very nicely under the umbrella of the Prevention and Human Services Department. So the work that decisions does will still continue to happen, is just under the town. And then and the human services will still operate as it always has. And then there's this piece in the middle that we're building to provide prevention to all the other ages, all the other topics, and then bridging prevention and human services. So that that was a lot of information in just a couple minutes, but I'm just so excited about the opportunities that we can do a lot of great things. And that's sort of, I guess that's sort of the long and short of it.
That was great. I didn't realize that more recent history, of the town. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's nice that they included it. I know that you guys, when I used to sit on your meetings sometimes with Diane, and it was you really are an integral part of the Board of Health, and especially trying to keep these kids away from, to me, particularly tobacco, that probably has a more delirious, or detrimental effect than alcohol. Not that that's good either, but so I was looking at some of these norms, at least for one of the questions you asked. What research, have you gotten that really tells you the age when these kids start experimenting? I'm shocked to see that, in the past 30 days of these things from 2012 to 2021, over 96% of middle school kids have tried alcohol. And
that might be non-use. So
almost 100% like tobacco.
That might be I think it's non-use.
Oh, that's non-use.
Yeah.
Am I in the wrong norm survey? Positive community? No.
So
those are non-use. Okay. So all right, that's awesome.
Which is great. Which is like So use at the middle school for all substances are fairly low.
Yeah.
If you're looking at high school rates, and I will say, even though I don't have the numbers in front of me, across the board, most high school students are not using in any of those main category substance categories. So alcohol, marijuana, vaping. Yes. Yeah.
Right. So is it, do you think that by the time you get to high school that a lot of those kids have already made up their mind and they're going to do it, and it's better to focus on middle school, or even even lower than that, even in grade school?
Right. So yes, I absolutely. So particularly through like the drug-free communities grant, which is where we sort of collect and use the data, their age population is sort of like this, I guess it's like 13 to 18 or whatever that age group is, which is middle school and high school, because that's where we can collect data in order to be able to measure the ups and downs and the trends through the years. But which is fine. But I do think, and there's certainly work to be done in that space of preventing and or reducing. So there's still prevention work that can happen even if someone is using. We would want to reduce the use as well. But what we've learned is that we do need, not just Ashland, but across the board, prevention needs to start so much earlier. So even work in like the elementary schools is sort of a common practice now. But I would say it looks a little bit different. So when you're talking about prevention with like kindergartners and first graders and second graders, you may not necessarily be talking about any particular substance, but you're laying a foundation of a strong social, emotional, foundation. You're talking about healthy choices. You're talking about self-confidence and the kinds of things to build strong characters. And those are all these like protective factors that will help keep, theoretically, kids from making a choice to use as they get older. So but again, like you said, a lot of the data does focus on that middle and high school, because that's just, those are the surveys that we have. But I would 100% agree that prevention can start when they say like prevention starts at birth. Like you can start the foundation really early.
Yeah, which I think is awesome. And I don't want to hog all this time. I just have one more question. I know that, previously, there was the huge vaping issue, especially with kids with flavored things, and then those were banned. Have you seen a decrease in use with the ban, that it's not so flavorful, or that doesn't matter? They're still doing the nicotine thing anyway.
So because I'm sort of isolated in a space where I'm not with young people. I don't have like a lot of access to young people personally. I know maybe if you talk with the schools, you might get a different perspective. What I would say has been, for me, what I think has been a real variable in use up and down has actually been COVID. And sort of like during that time, young people didn't have as much access to alcohol or e-cigarettes, and also the social opportunities to do a lot of the drinking and or vaping in sort of a social setting. So for me, like the COVID and the pandemic was a big like eye opener in terms of use, because it did go way down during that time. What will be interesting to see is that the middle schoolers and high schoolers just took the 2023 Adolescent Health Survey in the fall. The results will not be available until the spring, but it will be interesting to see the rates of not just vaping, but alcohol use and tobacco use as of a current use, because 2021, which is the last time the data was available, it took place in this very, very weird time in all of our lives that can't necessarily, it may or may not actually represent a true pattern. So it'll be really interesting. But I think overall, I think the research does show that by taking a lot of the flavors, was helpful as well. To answer that question specifically.
Thank you for that. That's great. Yeah, sure. Barbara, Jay, you guys, want to ask some questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Before the questions, though, Kristin, first of all, thank you. The survey that you're talking about, you said that was in Michael's newsletter?
Oh, I think so. I think it was. It might be a couple issues back, but I can tell you where to find it. If on the town website, ashlandmass.com, if you go, I think, to the government tab, you can find the Department of Prevention Services.
Okay.
And we have a new web, and I like right up at the top, the link to the survey.
Okay. All right, great, thanks. Just two questions about funding. So, is the town now covering everything that the drug-free community grant covered, or just part of that budget?
So it covers for programming and I guess I'll say like programming and operations, that's actually being covered by a couple of different pockets, but not currently through the town budget. We still have been very, very fortunate to be recipients of funding through the state earmark. And Senate President Spilka has been really great about putting money that goes to the town specifically for prevention. So we have funding for that to do like the for like programming and operations. So the state earmark does not allow personnel. We are also the recipient of a couple regional grants, which is basically an age finding tobacco being prevention grant, which is overseen by the city of Hudson. And we're a cluster community, so they provide some direct funding to towns specifically, and using some of that money in order to keep our coordinator on. And then I should say, even though the drug-free community grant has ended, we have a no-cost extension, so we can actually use some of that money through the end of June to complete some projects that we were not able to complete. But currently, no, aside from staffing, there is no in the town itself for grant and things along those lines. So part of my job is to find the grant opportunities. I'll you know, kind of pull all the different like pieces together.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit there, Kristin, at the end, but you answered my question, the second question, which was, so it sounds like you're going to be looking for different funding opportunities in going forward too. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Dr. Ron, if I may, I just want to add on your question, on the flavoring part, right? The ban on flavored tobacco in Massachusetts. MGH is actually leading a study they're doing in Massachusetts about that, like what impacts the ban on flavoring have, and I was actually part of that study. So when the data comes in, I will provide it to the board, So
that's great, Raj.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Barbara, anything?
No, but I just want to say, Kristin, thank you so much for the work you're doing in the schools. And, I don't know where it would be without your help, like from just what I hear from the students, it's very helpful to have somebody to even go to talk to in the schools, which I don't know, maybe with time, maybe we can try to change some policies, because the stories you hear is, the kids vaping in the school, like in the school bathrooms. So somewhere, that way they hold responsible if they are caught doing stuff like that.
So I know, I keep getting a message that my internet connection is unstable. So I was hearing bits and pieces of that, but I agree, Barbara, because we had the privilege of hearing for some young students at our retreat the other day. They were an amazing group that just kind of talked about positive things as well, their hopes and dreams, but also what concerns them and how adults can support them, and a whole host. But one of the things that we did here was sort of this uptick a little bit, we believe, in vaping. And I have to say, but the schools have been really great about addressing those issues as well. So I think having such supportive schools and having such thoughtful policies, as well as having Eliza, who is part of decisions, being that person that can talk with a lot of young people, I think is a really good formula for some really good work going forward. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. That's great. Anybody else? Okay. Kristin, thanks. You're certainly welcome to stay. You probably have a few better things to do, but again, just like the rest of the board said, you do a great job, and you really are, a part of the, the Board of Health, in my opinion. You are even, I don't know how many kids you've helped over the years, but it's got to be a lot. And however many you can keep off of those, things, or at least using alcohol responsibly and not smoking, is, one less kid that's going to have a good chance to have a lot longer, healthier life. That's for sure. And I think it's important that, that you continue to do this, and that at least the kids that are going to listen to you, that have a choice to kind of go either way, are going to see that there's an adult that really cares. We didn't have anything like this. You just had your parents yelling at you, so mine scared me so much. I'm 62. I think I just found out about smoking and alcohol like 2 years ago. So, that's how it was. But I think to have, this whole basically community outreach program where there's a coalition between the students and the parents and, concerned adults is, it's really, awesome. And you're not going to get everybody, but, whatever you do help, it's really they don't know it yet because they're that young, but, I see it all the time. I see my best friend's mom who smoked, 2 packs a day for 40 years. She has COPD. She can't walk more than a foot without being winded. You can't have enough oxygen tanks, and to save anybody from that, it is, it's really, a worthwhile cause if you can help anybody. So, thank you for everybody.
Well, the work could not be done without everyone. I mean, really, it really is. Prevention is just it's a community sport, really. Yeah. I mean, we need everyone. Everyone has a role. Everyone has a voice. So I'm really grateful to be able to sometimes be the the voice of it. But it's really everyone at the table that makes it work. So
yeah, of course.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Great.
Have a great holiday with your family.
Thank you so much. I am going to pop off, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Happy holidays to everyone, and I know I'll see you all soon.
Than't you.
Thank you,
okay,
Kristin.
Great. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
And I don't have to talk because Raj has to talk. Agenda item 4, the director's agenda. That's you.
Yes, sir.
What do you got?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So first is the Howe Street landfill. The new company Langdon was out end of September to do the testing at the landfill. The results was out, and I've submitted it to the board also. We have sent you a copy. The results was similar to the last testing we had at the landfill. And other than that, we also tested the irrigation wells. That's part of the testing. I hand-delivered both the reports to the homeowners. One is at 6 Dale Road, and second one is at 4 Sandstone. Both the reports are good. They was happy. So that's with the Howe Street landfill. Regarding the VFW, I've submitted the report to board again. We had a complaint that was on the 6th of the month, regarding some unsanitary conditions. And based on that, I did an inspection, and we have to temporarily put a cease and desist on their operations. And I thank Dr. J. He was with me for the re-inspection that we did on November 14th. Their operations are back on. I still have some few pending items that I'm waiting. I did get the pest control report after the inspection, and few other items are pending. Hopefully they solve them or correct them. Housing cases, going on at Chestnut Place Apartments. We have 3 open cases. We picked up 1 more from last time. Definitely improvements, but still a lot of stuff going on, and I'll keep the board informed. We definitely have lesser complaints, but some activity there still. 137 Pond Street, no update from AG's office, but the building commissioner have sent an order letter to the person who's living in that camper. And I heard, we had a hoarding task force meeting this afternoon that there was some activity there last evening. Once I have the information from the police department, I will update the board. I have asked police department for that, one of the officers, so hopefully get that report and I'll update the board. I guess they found one of the brothers sleeping in the car, but I'm not positive. I still have to get the report to update the board. With the Mill Pond, I guess the board was also copied on that as well, right? that the state, they have a party that was interested to buy it. It seems the state have denied that transaction. I don't know the reasons. So we'll see, like, what they do. Last time I had conversation with them, they said like there was 8 residents there. But I'll keep the board informed on that as well. Couple of restaurant changes, change of ownerships at Las Cabos and Dairy Queen that we are working on. The next item is the flu COVID clinic. So, so far this season, we have done 9 flu clinics. Barbara been present at a couple of them. Thank you, Barbara. 8 of the clinics we did with Pine Hill Pharmacy, and we have done 305 vaccines with them. This is in addition to what we do our Wednesday clinic and one of other flu clinics we have done with our staff. And we have expanded the vaccines we are offering at these clinics. Besides flu that we are offering for under 65, over 65, both kind of COVID vaccine. And now we are doing RSV as well, shingles, as well as tetanus. So these are 5 different kind of vaccines we are offering. We have 4 more clinic lined up this season. The next one is on November 29th. And we are planning another weekend clinic that's not final, but it's gonna be on December 9th, and once I have full information, I'll inform the board. And then there is one for December 5 and December 13. So these are 4 additional clinics that we're doing with the pharmacy. So overall, I guess we're gonna have 9 plus 4, at least 13 clinics just for flu and COVID this season, along with our Wednesday clinic for childhood vaccines. Last item, West Nile virus cases, and I'm just glad, that we have a couple of hard frosts,
Yeah.
So far in the whole state of Massachusetts, we had 164 positive samples, water samples for West Nile virus, and 6 cases this year, human cases, 6, but no animal case, Similarly with EEE, we didn't have any human case or animal case, but we did have 28 positive samples, and hopefully we don't see anything more than this, this season, given the 2 hard frosts. I guess that's all from me, but I'm open for any questions for the board.
That's great. Anybody? Jay, Barbara? No? Great. Roger, off the hook. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
report as usual. Are you happy with the new company for the?
Yes, sir. So, right, very good reputed company. So, but we did have a little bit of time in between, finding the new company, given all this workforce situation going on. But looks like very good company.
Okay. All right. That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to the 5th, item, the consent agenda. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the draft meeting minutes for September 19th and October 17th, 2023, as long as everybody was there or they read it, as well as the fiscal report 2024 year-to-date budget. We can pass both of those.
So Ron, for the 17th,
yeah,
it looks like let me just double check. I was going to say Barbara wasn't there. I don't know about, let me see the other one.
Yeah, that means, okay.
Hang on a sec. So we were all, so we could approve September 19th.
September 9th, okay.
And the budget in
okay.
this. You want to do that? And I'll just make the motion.
Yeah, and we'll table the, we can make a motion for that, and then I don't know if we need to make a separate motion to, table the October 17th until we have a fuller panel.
Okay, then I'll make the motion to approve the let's see, September 19th, 2023 meeting minutes, and the fiscal year 2024 year-to-date budget reports.
Okay. Anybody named Barbara want to second that?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, that's great. And the October 17th, we'll just move that to the next the next meeting, whenever that is, which is great because we can talk about that. I think December 19th, sounds pretty good. That would be, is that the third Tuesday already? I'm assuming that it is, right? So it would be the 5th, the 12th, and the 19th. So I don't know if everybody's going to be around. I know I'll be around. We can always keep that pretty fluid. Laura can let us know. Raj can let us know. Is anybody going away that can't make it?
I'll be here.
You'll be here? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll be here too, Barbara? Okay. All right, great. So at least it'll be us three again. So at least we can have the meeting, and Raj will let us know if we need anything, more urgently, if we need to do something, in the earlier part of the month.
I will, sir. Thank you.
There's no, Title V things we need to check out or other things.
Not at this moment, sir, but
Okay.
if something comes along, we'll definitely do that,
Okay. All right, great.
I see Mr. Bowman.
Yeah.
Just came. Yeah.
Superman, we missed you. How you doing? I don't think he can hear us yet.
Hello, Ed.
Yeah. Hey, Ed, how are you?
Sorry, got stuck. I'll fill you guys in after.
Yeah, that's okay.
One of those late ones.
We're actually all set. Do you want to, so we appreciate it. We waited for a while, but
Yeah, sorry.
that's okay. Not a problem.
It was well, I'll tell you guys offline.
Okay.
I'll text you guys.
All right. All right. Well, I asked everybody else what they were doing for Thanksgiving, except for you. What are you doing?
We made reservations.
Nice. Where are you going?
We might be going to Fireflies.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So, well, everybody have a great Thanksgiving, and Raj, Barbara, Ed, Jay, thank you guys all. Mark, you as well for being an active participant. You're always a good fixture on it. Nice to see that, people like to, take a listen and be involved in the Board of Health. So we have always the most important motion. We'll make that for Ed. Ed, you want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, there we go. Now, anybody named Jay or Barbara can second that.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, that's great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. All right, that passes 4-0. Laura, you as well. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I don't know why we can't hear you unless you're good now. Okay, we still can't hear you, but you're loved anyway. Have a great time with your family, and we'll see everybody on the 19th.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
All right,
Happy Thanksgiving.
See you later.